Hello students, good morning everyone. We are studying our 11th lesson from Science 1, that is the reflection of light. And up to last video, we have studied about the spherical mirrors and the different terms related to that of the spherical mirror. So actually there are two types of spherical mirror that we know. First type, that is the concave mirror, and the second type, that is the convex mirror. There are also many subtypes of that spherical mirror, but initially we have to study these both types, that is the concave and convex mirror. Okay, and also in last lecture we have studied the different terms related to that of the spherical mirror. So what are the different terms that we have studied? The first term, that is the pole of the mirror. Okay, so the center of the mirror surface, that is called as the pole of the mirror. What is that second term? That is the center of curvature, isn't it? So center of curvature means what? The center of the sphere of which mirror is a part, that is called as the center of curvature of that spherical mirror. Third term that we have studied, that is the radius of curvature. So the radius of the sphere of which the mirror is a part, that is called as the radius of curvature. Okay. Then the next term, that is the principal axis that we have studied. So principal axis, it means it is a straight line passing through the pole and the center of curvature. That is called as the principal axis of that spherical mirror. And the next two terms that are very important, that is the focus and the focal length. Principal focus we can say, and the focal length. So principal focus, these two terms means that term is different for concave and convex mirror. So what happened in case of concave mirror? Consider this is a concave mirror, and when a parallel beam of rays are incident on this concave mirror, then after reflection all these rays will converge at a single point in front of the mirror, like this. After reflection all these rays, incident rays, converge at a single point, and this point is called as the focus of that concave mirror. This is about the concave mirror, focus of concave mirror. We can also say it is a principal focus. And now what happened in case of convex mirror? Consider this is a convex mirror. Okay, this outer surface is reflecting, isn't it? And consider this is the principal axis. Then what happened if a parallel beam of rays are incident on this convex mirror? Then after reflection all these rays diverge or moving away from each other, isn't it? So this mirror is also called as diverging mirror, that I told you in last lecture also. So after reflection all these rays are appear to be emitting from a single point behind the mirror, like this. Means actually these are the incident rays, and these reflected rays are supposed to be emitting from this single point which is behind the mirror, and this point is also on the principal axis. Okay, like this. So these are the reflected rays, and all these reflected rays are imagined to be emerging from this single point, emitting from this single point behind the mirror, and that point is called as the principal focus of that convex mirror. Okay, so this is the principal focus for convex, and this is the principal focus for concave mirror. Remember, both these principal focus are lying on the principal axis. Okay, both these points are on the principal axis. Okay, and after that one more difference is that in case of concave mirror, principal focus is in front of the mirror, and in case of convex mirror, this principal focus is behind the mirror. This is the main difference between these two concepts. Okay, and the last term that we have studied, that is the focal length. So focal length means what? The distance between the pole and the principal focus. Okay, so this distance is called as the focal length. Also this distance between the principal focus and the pole, that is called as the focal length, and that is represented by small f, and this focal length should be half of the radius of curvature. That is always half of the radius of curvature. So let us consider a concave mirror. Consider this is a concave mirror. Let's see, this is the principal axis of that concave mirror. So this should be the pole. Okay, consider this is the center of curvature. That we know what we mean by center of curvature. Okay, and after that we have to consider here incident ray which is incident on this concave mirror. Let us mm. So this mm is the concave mirror, and we consider a ray which is incident on the surface of the concave mirror. So let's see, this is the ray AQ. So this ray AQ is incident on this surface of the concave mirror. Okay, now first we have to draw a radius of that sphere of which the mirror is a part. That is called as the radius of curvature. Okay, suppose if we join this point Q and C, then this QC, that is the radius of the sphere of which this mirror is a part. So this is also called as the radius of curvature, and we know that the radius is always perpendicular to the circumference of that mirror, isn't it, or that sphere. So this radius CQ, that is always perpendicular to this mirror surface. Okay, therefore this angle, that is the angle between the normal and the incident ray, that is called as the angle of incidence, isn't it? We know what do you mean by angle of incidence. In the first lecture of this lesson, I have told you all these concepts, basic concepts. So the angle between the incident ray and the normal, that is called as angle of incidence. So this angle AQC is the angle of incidence in this case. Now we know the laws of reflections. So what is the first law of reflection? That the angle of incidence should be equal to angle of reflection. Okay, angle of incidence and angle of reflections are equal. This is the most important law of reflection. So we have to draw now the reflected ray. Okay, so the reflected ray we have to draw in such a way that the angle of incidence and that angle of reflection should be equal. So let us draw this reflected ray like this. Suppose this is QB, and in that case we have to consider, means this angle of reflection and this angle of incidence should be equal. In this way we can determine the way along which that reflected ray will move. Okay, so this is about the drawing of the reflected ray. In this way we can determine the position of that reflected ray. Okay, so this is about the drawing of the reflected ray. Now the next topic that we have to study, that is the laws that we have to follow in order to draw the ray diagrams. So in the previous topics we have to draw, or we have to find out the images of a object for a concave mirror and for a convex mirror. Okay, how the images are formed by concave and convex mirror. Then in that case we have to draw the ray diagrams, and in order to draw these ray diagrams we have to follow some rules, and that rules first we have to discuss in this topic. Okay, so which are the rules for drawing the ray diagram? Let us discuss all these rules. So there are actually three main important rules. The first rule is that, consider we take this one concave mirror. Suppose this is a concave mirror. Suppose this is the principal axis. Now what is the first rule? The first rule is that if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, okay, like this. Suppose the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then after reflection it passes through the focus, okay, principal focus, like this. Suppose this is the center of curvature, then this should be the focus, because that focus or the focal length should be the half of the radius of curvature. So this should be the focus. And now what is the first rule? First rule is that if the incident ray is parallel passes through the principal focus. Okay, so this is the first law or first rule that we have to remember in order to draw the ray diagrams. Okay, I again repeat what is the first law or first rule. If the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then after reflection it passes through the principal focus. Okay, so this is the first rule. Now what is the second rule? Again we have to draw one concave mirror. So this is the concave mirror. And now what is the second law? In that second law, what is that? Suppose if the incident ray passes through the principal focus, okay? Suppose this is the principal focus, this is the center of curvature. Then if the incident ray passes through the principal focus like this, so this is the incident ray. Then after reflection, the reflected ray will be parallel to the principal axis. Okay, it means vice versa of this. Okay, in this case what happened? The incident ray is parallel to the principal axis. Then after reflection, it passes through the principal focus. And exactly opposite condition is here. So if the incident ray is passing through the principal focus, then after reflection it will move parallel to the principal axis. It means the vice versa of this statement. So these are the two laws in order to draw the ray diagrams. Now the third law is that, what is the third law? So in that case again we have to draw a concave mirror. So consider this is a concave mirror and this is the principal axis. Suppose this is the center of curvature, this is the focus. Now what is the third rule in order to draw the ray diagram? If the incident ray passes through the center of curvature, okay? Suppose if the incident ray passes through the center of curvature like this, then after reflection it will move along the same path. Okay, it traces the same path. So this is the direction of the incident ray and the same direction of the reflected ray. So these are the three laws, or we can say three rules that we have to follow in order to draw the ray diagrams. And now from the next lecture we are going to study how the image formed by a concave mirror and by a convex mirror. But for that we must understand all these three laws. Okay, so let us stop here. Thank you and have a nice day.